Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video we're going to be talking about Soldier Boy from the Boys series that just wrapped a couple weeks ago. And we're going to be discussing why I believe his powers are much more dangerous and scary than what the show or what anyone else thinks about them from a scientific point of view, from a Gen Z, just myself. So anyways, let's get into it. So we're first going to be starting off with a review of what his powers can do and just a general description of who he is. His real name is Benjamin, though not much is known about his last name. He was born in around the early 20th century and grew up before or around the Second World War II, around the 1940s and 30s. But apart from that, his powers given to him by compound V1 gave him super strength, enhanced longevity of almost immortality, but I feel like I'll talk about that at another time. Super durability to the extent of him being able to be bulletproof, heightened reflexes, and increased and enhanced speed. And that's pretty much it for his powers that he originally got from, like I said, the compound V1 in the system back in the 1940s and so on and so forth. But over time, in the late 20th century, around 1980, in the 1980s, he was in Nicaragua when he was captured by the Russians, and then he was experimented on throughout the coming years until which they pumped radiation into his system, which in effect caused him to acquire a new or different type of power, which allowed him to outburst a high potential of radiation outburst or blast of radiation from his chest. But as such, from there we got to see his new power, which was able to, as we all know from the series of The Boys in season 3, was able to prevent or get rid of a super's powers by what Homelander believes that he fried out the V in their systems. But the most dangerous and truly terrifying thing about that is that he did not actually fry out the V from their system. What he instead did was he caused a radiation overdose onto the supes themselves, which in a scientific term that I can put it into is that he caused radiation poisoning in their cells individually. And briefly, what a radiation does to a person's cells from a scientific point of view is that it breaks down the bonds that hold the DNA together and causes damage. Now, to an ordinary person, we have systems in place that prevent or stop that from happening, or such as other ways of repairing it if it does happen to us, because we are exposed to UV radiation from the sun. But at the end of the day, the supes are given by compound V have an enhanced healing factor in general for all supes and a slightly enhanced durability. So we can extrapolate or determine that they also have a better DNA repairing mechanism than us. Because if we were dosed with high gamma radiation levels of radiation, our cells start to break down and we can't replace it, and it usually either results in a person's death or cancer of some kind, or just a cell death that we could repair, but usually death. So Soldier Boy isn't really taking away, or he isn't really burning away the soup's powers. What he is causing is DNA damage of such high kind that the superhero's healing factor and DNA repair mechanism is so taxed that it takes away their power, and they have to focus on their power as their amino acids break down and stuff like that in their cells in their body, which we can see with Kimiko in one of the earlier episodes in season 3, is that she was blasted by Soldier Boy and she sustained heavy damage to herself as she could not repair herself, and she lost her powers because of Soldier Boy. And the only way she got it back was at the end of the season, she had to top off with some more compound V. But if the V was out of her system, she would still have her power. So that means that it went deeper damage to her genome. And we can even see this with Bomb Sight as well. because Bombsight also gives clear evidence that he can do it with the old soups as well, that the radiation from Robbie is that when he was blasted with Soldier Boy's radiation blast in season 5 of The Boys, we saw him become human and become normal, which means that even a soup like him was able to kind of be affected by it, which in effect tells us that neither of the serums compound V nor compound V1 can save a person from Soldier Boy's radiation blast, and that, or it gives evidence to show that the radiation that Soldier Boy emits onto the soup themselves causes radiation DNA damage by the radiation and radiation poisoning, which backs it up, because I believe that compound V and compound V1 do the same thing, just compound V does it a little bit better or stronger than compound V, as compound V is able to express genes in a person's body that are usually expressed more, as each gene in a person's body can express less or more than some other genes that a person has, and that compound V and compound V1 just express those genes more than others in gene expression. But I'm not going to be going into a whole discussion about what the difference is between compound V and compound V1, because I think that'll be for another video at another time. But anyways, add to the fact that the serum itself would not really remain within the cells nor in the body, as it would be disposed out, and the genes or mutations that it causes in an individual's genetic DNA on how they express their genes would be permanent within them, and wouldn't really be a serum that floats around in your blood or in your DNA, because otherwise your system would flag it and then they would get rid of it right away. That's my take from a scientific point of view of it as a Gen Zer. But let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think. Do you think that Soldier Boy was able to burn out the V from in their system, or do you believe that he caused such a high radiation damage to their genetic code or genome that it forced them to make their DNA repair mechanisms go into overdrive to compensate with the extensive DNA damage? But anyways, like and subscribe. Thanks. See ya.